Thompson Sports, we are back, episode 5. Thank the Lord we are here today. Had to take a couple of days off, mental break, just mental health, just getting myself back to, formation, just programming, reprogramming the mind, the body, the soul, getting closer to God, and loving myself more and more. That's the only thing I could possibly do. I can only control the controllables. So, and we are back. NBA playoffs. It's game 1 is done for the Knicks, the Lakers, the Timberwolves, the Cleveland. It was a terrible start to the playoffs, but we're going to get straight into the Knicks. They beat Atlanta Hawks yesterday. A great win. 113-102. 28 from Bronson, but that 19 in the first, the things I've been saying, reading the room, understanding how they are playing you. If they're allowing one-on-one action, you cook any and everybody in this entire league. There's no one possibly that can guard Jalen Brunson one-on-one. That's why you have to send the help. You have to do the full court press. You have to trap. You have to put a 6'8" guy on him. You have to do so many things that we don't see players like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander go through, players like Luka Doncic go through, guys that have to put up 30-some points a game. They don't go through that scouting report that I seen Bronson go through against the Indiana Pacers, or we could say the second half of the season. But the job he displayed in the first quarter, and not only the first quarter, the rest of the game. Maybe in the fourth he pounded a little bit more. He didn't read that. They took away all of those things that they gave you in the first quarter. And you have to realize, whenever anything is given, you take it from them. You take whatever is given at the moment. So I say Bronson, great game. That was a big 28. Times people score 20-some points and it doesn't mean anything. That was a huge 28. And go to Karl Anthony Towns. I love the pair. I believe point guard to big man, that is the best duo in the league. I mean, you have Jokic and Murray, but only thing with them, we've seen it so many times for so many years. So I think it would be easier to game plan for them compared to like a Cat and Bronson who hasn't even played together. They on the court and rarely play together. And towards, the second half, but I'll say the last 2-3 weeks, they start getting a rhythm, and Cat performed the way I believe he could do any and every night. He is the biggest man in the league now. When he first came in the league, he was in between power forward center. This man is a true center, and he's humongous. Not only that, the first quarter, you say Bronson had a great quarter, but you have to contribute a lot of that to Cat. Cat playing at the top, allowing Bronson to just flow. Let him get all his one-on-one action. Let him get anything off. Let Markel get off, where he had like 7 points in the first quarter. If Josh needed to get off, OG had a great game with 19 points, 6 for 9. So it was how Cat is playing, understanding that I could always score. When you And this the thing what people don't understand is some players in the league are them. And what I mean by that is if you've done something for 10 plus years of 20 something points, you are him. You understand what I'm saying? It's not something where it's a small sample size. No, this has been 10 years of just straight getting buckets. And that's what Cat is. Cat can get it in barrages. So I see why the system is what it is. And it allows the role players to flourish. You know, OG, great game, efficient, just understanding your role. I believe you need to step it up defensively a little bit, just a tad bit. Josh Hart, so-so game, but just reading the room. Bronson had it, Cat had it going on in the second half. Let them eat. Next game be mine. Markel Bridges, I appreciate the effort. You know, you're not getting as many touches as before, but you constantly still want to be on that court, and you're going to play as hard as possible to be on that court. So, you know, it was a great game. I believe the bench was a letdown for me. I mean, Mitch Robinson was okay, and Clarkson was decent, but Deuce finally started hitting a couple shots, and Sham has not found his rhythm, and that may be a problem going forward if they don't find a rhythm. If they find a rhythm, this is a 20-point blowout. You have to understand, and people have to read the room entirely. Cat is like a LeBron in a way, in a sense. Just the impact, though. When he's standing at that top, everybody has free range to do pretty much any and everything. That center is facing Cat at the top at the three-point line. His back is turned to the paint. If that is going on, that is why Bronson could get and do what he want to do. This is why OG could get and do what he want to do, and these role guys. But at some point, we need a barrage of threes. Not from Cat, not from Bronson. I'm talking from Shamon, talking from Mikal, I'm talking from Josh, talking from OG, talking from Deuce, and I'm talking to Jordan Clarkson. We need threes. I mean, I don't understand where I've seen Shamon drive to the paint. I'm seeing Deuce drive to the paint. That is not your game. In the playoffs, what you can't do, your weakness will be exposed. Don't expose it anymore. Why are you going to the basket to score? Shamon, Deuce, until you get a rhythm, you are three-point shooters. Till you get a rhythm from out there, you don't go to the basket and try to get a layup. Unless it's wide open like a fast break layup. I don't want to see that. Clarkson can. You know why Clarkson can? Because he's one of the ones off the bench. He's been doing it for 10 plus years. He knows how to put a ball in the basket. Not like Deuce or Sham. You guys are 3.3 and D. We don't want to see nothing else. Just like Markel Bridges, want to see 3 and D. Knock down that corner shot. Run to the corner. Sprint to the corner. Let them know you in there. That should be your goals. 3 and D. I'm seeing players losing their identity. And not just the Knicks, the entire playoffs. People are doing things that is just not in their capabilities. Play as the game go. If it's feed Bronson, feed him. If it's feed Cat, feed him. You will get yours. I don't want to see ill-advised shots. I don't want to see shots where it's like, you could have just passed it. No, we could always get a better shot. So to the role players, We need you to step up. Mitchell Robinson. They may go into the hack of Mitchell Robinson. The NBA, let me tell you one thing. It's despicable in so many ways because how they will allow teams to do things to the Knicks where you only would do it if you down 2-0 in the series. Hack Mitchell Robinson in game 1. NBA, what's going on? You always try to make it so tough for the Knicks to win. The game is what the game is. These niggas is not that good. I'm sorry. Atlanta is not that good. They are like college basketball with CJ McCollum. That's not. You got Jalen Johnson. Let's talk about this before we go off topic. You got Jalen Johnson. He's pretty decent, right? And I loved him when you had Trae Young because, yeah, he could do everything, but you have to understand, we get into a point in this league where it's no point guards. We are watching games and there's no setting anything up. Half-court sets look atrocious from the Hawks, the Timberwolves, the Rockets, the Raptors. It's been awful with no point guard out there. And I understand y'all want to fast forward and push it and give him the keys to the car and give him the keys to the team, but he's not ready. He's not ready. You think the Knicks was playing at their best? Come on now. They got to play Jonathan Kuminga, speed up the tempo. Like, this league is just, it would just drain a nigga's soul. Like, Jonathan Kuminga is a guy who is, he's a super talented guy, really can't shoot. And there's nothing wrong with that. We got a bunch of players like that. You got Scotty Barnes in Toronto, and he's like the star player over there. You put him on Atlanta and the East Coast where you know the East is slow. Just the tempo is slow. You go to the West, they out and about. You come to the East, slow down a little bit. And now you're in Atlanta, and they don't know what to do with him. Because if you have him, we running. Him, Jalen Johnson, Dyson Daniels, we gone. We out, we moving. But I don't know what the direction is with Atlanta. They don't want people stepping on people's toes, so they're going to play Kuminga to a certain degree to where he doesn't look too good. So Atlanta got their own problem, but I think the Knicks should get a clean sweep. I don't think they should go past 4 games. Mike Brown, I need you to make in-game adjustments. It's times where, you could just make a sub. It don't have to be a rotational sub. It could just be a sub. I'm seeing we're lacking of full court pressure. Let me put this guy in for 2-3 minutes, take this guy out. You could do things like that where, this game could have been a blowout. And Atlanta is the type of team you just don't want to give them confidence. They're young, they're a little gritty. You still got Onika as the center. He's knocking down threes. Still got Jalen Johnson. You still got CJ McCollum. You still got Nickeil Alexander-Walker. You still got Jonathan Kuminga. So you got talent out there. It's just you don't want to give them any confidence. Rip their hearts out in the first 4 games. And I think Mike Brown making proper substitutions and adjustments in game could clean this out. And we could possibly see Boston in the second round. Let's get to the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Houston Rockets. No Luka Doncic, no Austin Reeves, and KD was out with the knee injury. It was a boring game, man. Just simply, it was 107-98. Lakers won, but to me, it was like a blowout. Wasn't as close as the score was in the fourth quarter. Of course, LeBron, the GOAT, the greatest player of all time. I mean, let me give you a simple breakdown why he is the greatest player of all time. From day one, 16 years old, he's invited, and he dominated from then. From 16, he was the only kid we've seen in the history of basketball that at that age is ready for the NBA. Knowing yet now where you have to play a year collegiate or a year overseas or something now, because a lot of players wasn't ready after LeBron came into the league. You to go. I mean, when you're talking about the game, understanding from high school to the pros, when you are the number one guy, like the number one guy, and you typically play with lesser talent than what you are, you always see defenses that is uncommon. You know, traps, zones. I mean, the zone just for you. I mean, guys just sagging. This man helped out. I mean, I watched the San Antonio series when he was in Cleveland, and how they guarded him, it was just almost impossible for you to score. Like, for a person to score, a man here, a man's right here, and the man is over here, how the hell are you going to score? So him and his dominance, him seeing all kinds of defenses throughout his entire career and continuously get better, but not only that, but continuously play chess with the opposing coach. You see Michael Jordan, great player, greatest of all time in people's eyes, right? But the thing is, Mike needed Phil. Mike needed Scotty. LeBron don't need nobody. I mean, I need him for my entire career. I need him to win all my chips. He don't need that because you could say, Mike Brown, when he was coached by Mike Brown, I think that's when he started to take over as far as we could run this play, we could do this, we could do that. Because Mike Brown is you see what he is in the New York Knicks, a collaborative coach. So he always been that from the beginning, and that's when LeBron got his niche as far as understanding the concepts, understanding the defenses, understanding this coach tendencies, understanding what type of tempo they like, what rotations they like. Anything and everything that needs to know, which a coach would know, he knew with the talents. Like, you're not understanding. Mike never seen 3-4 players. They not doing that every game. You know, when LeBron came in, that was the time where you have film. You could go back on film. You could rewatch things. Like, it was more, the technology was a lot advanced when LeBron was coming in compared to like a Mike. And you was able to expose a man's real weaknesses. Like, truly and fully. We got 200 games right here. And it's a bigger difference. And that is why you see even today at 41, he can still play, be a Magic Johnson one day, be a LeBron one day, be a Michael Jordan one day. He could switch it up because he's understand every defense that is come known to man. You understand what I'm saying? We're not even talking about his talent. We're talking about the brain. And people forget that. Well, Mike and Kobe, what makes them the greatest, they were killers, they were scorers, they did their job. They were two guards. Shooting guard. Do you know the difference? Shooting guard. They changed it now. Like Shea, Luka, you see 8 assists, you see 12 assists. Shooting guard didn't do that. Shooting guard role was to get buckets. That's it. Get buckets. Play defense and get buckets. Was it to set up him, set up him, set up him, set up him, and set up him? That wasn't their role. That wasn't their job title. That wasn't anything they had to do. So that's the difference between LeBron and Mike or Kobe, where LeBron had to get everybody going because he was number one since day one. Onto a bum team, carried like day one. Not day one, oh yeah, I'm just going to drop 30 like Mike. No, day one. I got to make him better, and better, and better so I could be even better. You understand what I'm saying? Because the way the league set up a team like Cleveland, a small market, you would never get a super talented team like you would get in LA or Boston or even Philly. You're just not getting. It's a very small market. It's not Chicago. That's a big market city. So there's so many things we could dive into on why LeBron is the greatest. But it's the brain. That's what makes him the greatest. Because when it comes down to it, this is why you're able to continue to play at 41. If you don't have it, you will crash out. You're just going to crash. So, but let's get to the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Rockets. No Luka, no Austin, no Kevin Durant because of knee injury. And it was just LeBron picking them apart just like LeBron would do years ago. First quarter, the first 7 minutes, he scored 8 points. He had 8 assists in the first 7 minutes. And it was just pretty much whatever he sees the defense do, I'm going to react to it. And how Houston played, because they play an ultra aggressive Udoka concept. They spend so much time defensively that they be drained offensively. These guys had 90-something shots compared to the Lakers' 60-something shots. The Lakers shot 60%. They shot 33%. They missed like about almost 60 shots. So, because they're so focused on defense. And LeBron just like, I catch you on a little block, what you gonna do? Pick your poison. Pick and roll, pick your poison. When I come downhill and Ayton is on and Ayton is ready, geared up to catch that law. So it's what you want. Got Luke Kennard in the corner. What you want? Jake Rui Hachimura in the corner. What do you want? Pick your poison. I will make sure these guys are involved to where, because how Houston play defense, see, LeBron wouldn't probably did that on any other team. 8 assists in the first quarter or in the first 7 minutes. It's because how Houston plays defense. They really only play defense at this point. They don't run any plays. Their offense suck. Like, I don't understand. I think that's another conversation, but Kevin Durant ruined the Houston Rockets. They was a young, fast-paced team. Now they are slow, methodical. Everybody is just got a role. Like, no one can do anything outside their role. It's like, I remember you had Cam Whitmore, you had Jalen Green, you had Amen Thompson. So, yeah, they was like role play, but then they could do other things. They could score, they could rebound, pass. These guys can only do one thing, reshape one thing. Tyree Eason, one thing. Ahmed Thompson, one thing. Like, it's just, it's bad. It's bad offense. And LeBron just, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all going to help us continuously be in this game, I'm going to get my role players involved. So they will always be involved. And then I'll find my spots. This ain't hard. They can't score 100 points. Without Kevin Durant, they can't score 100. With Kevin Durant, they barely cracking 105. That offense suck. There's no plays. There's nothing being set. They need Fred VanVleet. They didn't acquire any point guard or any scoring guard to just help out, make this thing look a little bit more fluent. It was a sloppy game from the Houston Rockets, but Rui Hachimura came to play. Luke Kennard had a big game, cashing out on the 3-ball. He ain't the greatest three-point shooter of all time, but boy, that boy could shoot. He one of them. He could really shoot from 3. And that's not the only thing Luke Kennard could do. Luke Kennard, that's the thing. That's what I said with the Houston Rockets I have problems with. When you watch Luke Kennard play, yeah, you say he's a great shooter. But if you really watch his game, he could run a pick and roll as a point guard. He could rebound the ball. He can play a little defense. He could do pretty much a lot of things on the court. You watch it and be like, yo, shit. That's why sometimes his jump shot, he don't shoot a lot because he be focused on so much. And that is a good thing. That's what Houston is lacking. Guys that could do multiple things on the court. You understand? You just can't just do one thing. Like Rui. Rui scores. But not only that, he can catch a pop 3, and he's the best in the league at the mid-range. He took over DeMar DeRozan. That shit is unstoppable. He put the body into you. He stepped back, just count 2 points. You understand what I'm saying? Count 2. If it missed, the ball is doing some tricks. That's how accurate and laser focused he is. He's like Kawhi was when he was in San Antonio. When he had that midi, like, pop, pop, it's popping. So you got that. Ayton playing like a big boy. Just understanding, I got to stay active. I got to stay focused. I got to stay laser sharp. The ball may not touch my hands all the time, but when it do, I have to be ready. That's what Ayton's job is now. Listen, you can flourish statistically if you read the room. Playing alongside LeBron, Austin, Luka, they gonna take their shots. But brother, when they drive off that pick, just stay locked and loaded and ready. That thing is coming up. You're gonna get baskets, and then they gonna always give you that 8 feet, 10 feet push floater shot. They gonna always hit you in those pockets. Stay ready. Keep your hands ready. Stay live. So that's all Ayton got to do. Marcus Smart has been great, period. I mean, he's not doing anything, meaning turning over the ball, playing great defense, just understanding he's a true vet at this point in his life and his career. And that's what you got to be. You got to be the brains to this. Like LeBron is the brains, you got to be the brains as well. If they see you doing crazy stuff, turn over the ball, everybody else will turn over the ball. So you and LeBron has to set the example. Like, we ain't playing around. To a lot of role players, we ain't playing around. So Marcus Smart, you at that point in your career where you could really be like, all right, if I show them this, ain't no way they're gonna be doing anything else. That's how our guys roll. They just follow suit. But shout out to everybody. I think Bronny James, JJ Redick could play Bronny. The thing is, and I ain't like this with Bron. You had Bronny on the court with you, and you at that point, because you passed all first quarter, you were so aggressive to score, you didn't even give him a shot. I was completely lost. You was so locked into the game, you didn't even give him a shot. And that was the only thing where I was like, I was lost. Because it's like, get that boy a rhythm. Let y'all run the pick and roll. Let him come downhill with you. And then you got the choices of the lob or him coming down with the hammer. Like, allow the boy to play. Because you understand the leash is short. Anything shows signs of weaknesses and shows signs that, oh, he ain't ready. 1 turnover, 2 fouls. Look like you're not ready, right? No. You gotta let this nigga get some shots. You cannot use those minutes, that 4 minutes that you had with him, to only put up shots for yourself. That's not basketball. That was the only part where I just didn't understand, what is LeBron doing? Run action with him. Run action. Not, yo, throw it to me in the post, throw it to me in the post. Every time you playing with him, throw it to me in the post. When you know if he didn't hit the shot, his man is sagging off of him. So you're telling the guy that just came in the game to throw you the ball in the post, and they naturally sags off of him, and you want him to throw you the ball in the post. That stuff makes no sense. Now, that's one thing where I'll be like, yo, brother, I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. Like, that's not what I'll be running with him. I'm running the pick and roll with him off the rip. I'm getting my boy downhill. Why would I run in something and you're catching the ball in the post, and what? If this man cheats somewhat, you're not passing it. If he double, you gonna pass it. And it's like, that's a hot potato pass. That's not a real, get your rhythm in. Get the boy going downhill first. Then see he can make some shots. But then I start the game off, want this boy to really be like ready, lock and loaded to shoot like he's Kyle Culver, Luke Kennard. Like, let's be honest. Let's get this guy a rhythm, get him downhill. When you watch T.J. McConnell play for the Indiana Pacers, what they have him playing? Downhill at all times. You don't see him throwing the ball in the post. You see him running. If he's out there, he's moving. That's the same thing for Bronny. Don't have it to where you're out there with him and then you're hindering him. Because you want him out there and then you're still, oh, I didn't score yet. Man, you can always get it. You can always do this and the ball's coming to you. So for him, let him shine. It's bigger than just him being out there on the court. For him, it's bigger than that. For you, yes. For him, no. This is still his career. And you have to understand, they have a magnifying glass over him. A big one. In anything, a small little smidge, they will take him out and say that is his daddy's son. You're not understanding. For the Lakers to win, we need everybody in a mold. To win, when Luka and Austin do come back, JJ could, Luka, you getting tired on defense right now real quick? I'm going to take you out, put Bronny in real quick. Because I know what he's about to give me right now. So this is the time we need to focus and lock in. This is not a time, JJ Redick, LeBron James, this is not a time, Los Angeles Lakers, to be playing some funny kitty-ass games with anybody on the team. If they playing, they're playing. They're on the roster, they're on the roster, they're on the playoff roster. They should be playing. They're in the playoff rotation. They should be playing, and they shouldn't be ripped out because you're trying to make him be something that he's not. Like, what are we doing here? I watched Gabe Vincent suck in Atlanta. Trash. Get good 15, 20 minutes. Trash. Garbage. Stealing money to this day. And you like, yeah, and y'all put Bronny in the worst predicaments all year long. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he's not what you think he is. And to be honest, JJ Redick, let me be real honest. Talent-wise, he has more talent than you ever had in your whole entire career. You never was explosive. You never could lock nobody up. You never could play defense. You never could do so many things that's on the court. So stop looking at somebody as like, I am nitpicking on what he can't do. Like you was someone that was doing everything besides shooting. So that's the thing where I think it's too much going on. And everybody should have a clean and fair shot at this. You understand? When you start playing them games, the games start playing on you. You think you won a game. That's just one game. They could come out with a totally different game plan. They could start hitting these shots. You cannot lose your players. You're limited on players. So you have to understand the job in him. But let's talk about the Timberwolves and the Denver Nuggets. Man, listen. Anthony Edwards is not right. But Denver won 116-105. It was an 11-point win, but it wasn't a blowout. They blew them out in the fourth quarter. I'm not going to lie. I would like to give kudos to Rudy Gobert. He played great in the first half, first quarter, second quarter. Came to play. Had Jokic on lock for sure. They said he had, 4 turnovers, 3 points at one point. Of course, Jokic going to start getting his, but I had to give Rudy Gobert his props. Anthony Edwards is not healthy at all. And towards the All-Star break, he needed like a month and a half off from then. But the West Coast in this play-in situation is garbage. They got in the league where it is forcing players to over-exceed their limits in a regular season. Guy like Anthony Edwards, guys like Kevin Durant, Luka, Austin. These guys ain't even making it to the playoffs because of the play-in. You created something that's just awful. The play-in should be the 7th and 8th seed fighting for something. Not like, well, maybe just the 8th seed fighting for something. Like, it's just too much going on, man. It's too much going on. Maybe 1 seed they fight for, but not to where players is maxing out in the regular season and we're not seeing the best play come the playoffs. And that's what we've not seen from Anthony Edwards. We're not seeing his best play. He's playing on one leg. Not explosive. He's not dunking. When you don't see Anthony Edwards dunk, it's a problem. And in that game, first half, Minnesota had a chance to really take the lead and expand on it, but Julius couldn't find his rhythm. And the thing with, I want to explain with Julius and Naz Reid. Julius, if when you out there on the perimeter, you're on the court with Rudy Gobert, you gotta take those threes. I mean, in a game, typically you don't want to take 7, 8 threes, but if that's what the defense is giving you, you gotta take it. If that ball passes to you and good momentum, you gotta take that shot. The minute you pump fake, put the ball on the floor, it's a terrible possession. You killed the possession because you're just going back into traps, doubles. It's about to be a shot clock violation. You understand what I'm saying? So, and you have to understand wherever you're at on the court, you got to be able to take that shot if you're standing there. If you're standing there, you got to shoot it once the ball touch your hands and you got a little daylight. Got to pull it. Nas Reed, you got to stop playing like this is the regular season or the preseason. You go into the basket, you went left and throw a left-handed layup. Crazy. I mean, your left hand is good, but you ain't work on it like that to take those kind of shots in a playoff game. When you know Anthony Edwards hasn't been healthy, y'all don't play with a point guard. I mean, as good as Rudy Gobert was that game, he does have his problems with him. He's just standing in the paint, taking up too much space. His man is detached from him. It's just sloppiness going on. No plays being ran on Minnesota. And it gave Denver more and more chances to come back and take the lead and then just blow them out. Eventually, Joker going to find his rhythm. And it's going to be from getting these guys involved. If I can't get my shot going, clear up more space. Now going one-on-one because I got all the space and all the action from passing the ball, getting all these guys going. Now I got ultimate space to just cook you now. And now with the little bit of help and stuff, it was messing me up. But now I'm cooking. And that's what happened in the second half. You had the help of Jamal Murray, Cam Johnson, Christian Braun, Aaron Gordon put in some buckets. And it was just, even Tim Hardaway scored a few buckets, Bruce Brown scored a few buckets. And it was just a whole team effort for the Denver Nuggets. It wasn't one guy, it wasn't just Jokic. It was the role players in the first half. In the second half, he picked it up. And Jamal Murray as well. So for the Minnesota Timberwolves, if Anthony Edwards' knee is no good, they don't have a chance. If he could possibly show something and bounce back and we see some explosiveness, then they got a shot. But Minnesota is a sloppy team. They don't have a point guard, so it's just Minnesota, Houston, Atlanta, Toronto. I mean, you watching teams with no point guard, no direction, or where to go. Feet in the hot hand. They just don't have that point guard where I got to get him going. I got to get him going. This moment in time, I got to get him going. It's so many random people taking shots that's all over the court. It's just no plays being called, no sets. It's nothing going on. Chris Flint, he's not doing anything. And it's almost time. It's time for him to go. And especially if Minnesota getting bounced in the first round, it's almost time to kind of break up a lot in Minnesota. It's very clunky. And yeah, they got a lot to figure out, man. Do you want to play Nas and Drew? Or you want to play Drew and Rudy? Or you want to play Nas and Rudy? They don't know what they want to do. They don't play Terrence Shannon Jr., who's really talented, that could really give you the explosiveness that you're lacking from Anthony Edwards with them being injured. If I'm not getting Anthony Edwards attacking at that level that we typically are accustomed to, then we got to get it from somewhere else. Terrence Shannon, step up to the plate. He coming in with a different type of bolt of energy. And I don't see that. I don't see those adjustments. I don't see the in-game adjustments. I don't see the adjustments before the game. And Minnesota will have problems if they're still going with this Mike Conley coming off the bench with Kyle Anderson. You're playing against Denver Nuggets. They're not playing around. They move at their own pace. It's not super fast, like on a fast break or whatever. But in a game, Denver could pick up the pace. You don't see it. It's hard to really comprehend how when you play Denver. But at some point, they start getting it. Like, it's not going to be like fast break lobs or nothing like that. But the pace changes. Joe can start picking up his tail. Like, he's not dragging his feet no more. Jamal Murray not dragging his feet no more. Because they could drag their feet some points of the game, and then they could just pick the pace right back up. So, and that's what makes Denver scary. And Minnesota don't have that change of pace. All they got to do, the only way they can win and win this series is make the game nasty as possible. Sloppy, gritty, no layups. We're not playing. Rudy Gobert foul anybody that come down there. Jokic go up and it look like he's going in, foul hard. Like, take them out their rhythm, get them frustrated, make it a great grind game. That's the only way Minnesota can win. They can't win on the coaching standpoint. They can't win on the X and O standpoint. They can't win on the nothing. Jokic and Murray is better than their two best two. And it's just pretty much that simple. Just that simple, man. But yeah, we are done. Thank you. Subscribe, like, comment, support. More episodes is coming. I'm back. Thank the Lord for another day. We are blessed. We're here. I'm going to stay tuned. I'm going to try to give you episode after episode after episode after episode. But if I'm not, sorry, I apologize. But I got to constantly give y'all content. There's so many things I want to go in depth with that I just got to give you. I got to just feed the algorithm. And I apologize for not putting out a video in a week and a half. I'm sorry. That will never happen again. But it's Thompson Sports. We are back. Episode 5. We're done.